All right, One Piece 1096 is up, and I'm so happy and so excited. And I read this chapter last night. However, I didn't have time to film, and stuff got in the way this morning. But I'm actually very happy for that, because if I had waited, if I had done my immediate reactions to this chapter, I don't think it would be as positive. I think I would have used the phrase overhyped a little bit too much and completely not necessary. I love this chapter, but uh, I have never known anything about the leaks that come out before the fan translations, and I knew nothing about this chapter specifically, other than a couple people were really hyping up that something amazing was going to happen, out of their minds, like block One Piece on all things, avoid spoilers at all costs. It's insane what happens. Like, some people who do the leaks before the fan translations weren't even going to put it out because it's so incredible you have to see it for yourself. The fan translation websites were putting up, hey, this is a big one, don't let yourself be spoiled for it. So I was expecting something immense. I was expecting giant rocks reveal. I was expecting figuring out who Caribou was working for. I was expecting random person walking into that flower garden where the one with the pointy hat and Mew guy is. Like, I just someone walking in there and being like, yo. I was expecting something massive. And we didn't get anything that big. We got a lot of build up. There's more to come. It's a taste of a completely epic thing. Like, we didn't even get a full confrontation between Rock's Garp and Roger. Like, we get their individual panels of them running in, but it was like my issue with Wano between Whitebeard and Roger. You see them charge, cut back to landscape, skip the battle, go on. So I'm like, I took issue with that in Wano, but I'm assuming we're coming back to God Valley later. But that left me to be, my expectations were probably not where they should have been when I was reading this chapter, because I was expecting something huge. So when what happened and then was over, I'm just like, okay, but this was good. Egghead hits every single time, loving it. But it's not wow, over the top, like cut out the internet for the next 48 hours to make sure you're not accidentally spoiled. So I was disappointed when I finished. But then given just like a couple hours, I'm just like, oh no, this chapter hit me. And then I reread the chapter and I'm just like, oh my god, it's wonderful. Kuma's like now up there with my favorite characters. Like above La, above a couple of the Straw Hats, not all of them. But if we set the Straw Hats aside, I think Kuma might be like my second or third favorite character right now. Let me gush about him at the end, but just know that I love him. I love this chapter. And it just took me a little bit of time to realize how wonderful it was. So we're setting up with Oda just when we thought we could not possibly hate the Celestial Dragons more. He's just like, hold my beer, I will make you hate them to an extent you did not know was humanly possible. So we already had them here for this genocidal tournament for funsies. And then couldn't be worse than what we expect. No, it can, because they're referring to them as rabbits. And then you have special rabbits and rare rabbits. And if you kill them in one shot, you get more points. And they're wearing literal targets on their backs. And there's no holding back. You see parents running with their children screaming in anguish and fear as they're just running for their lives. You have some of the Celestial Dragons just going, woohoo, let's start shooting. And then someone's like, no, give them some time. They gotta run and spread out. No, you can't shoot them yet. Okay, let them run away. Give them a fair start. I'm like, oh my goodness, the rage I felt in these first opening panels. It was a little busy at first. There's a lot going on. It's hard to read on my computer, but like if I open on my iPad, it's probably fine. When this comes out physically, it will be perfect. So a little busy just reading it on computer, but my god, everything that was happening in those opening chapters. One of the Marines calls Garp, and he's just relaxing on a lawn chair, enjoying the sun, probably on vacation. This is before he became the hero of the Marines. And they're just like, listen, we got an issue. I can't exactly tell you over the snail phones. Can you come over here, please? Garp's being like, nope, vacation, not my problem. This is your fault. Do you think I'm coming to help the celestial dragons? Not gonna do it. Side note, I don't know how much he knows about what's going on this island. Does he know they're committing a genocide and is choosing to ignore that and still work for the Marines? Because if so, Garp is going back on my hit list. If he doesn't know and doesn't think it's as bad as just the usual level of cruelty that he's been able to tolerate over the years, Garp should probably be back on my hit list regardless. That's at least something slightly different. But if he knows they're doing this, I take issue. But anyway, Garp's just like, listen, they attacked Hachinosu, Pirate Islands. They're gonna get what they got. So I like this because I was expecting rocks to come for something on the island. I wasn't really expecting that the Celestial Dragons or the Marines or the Gods Knights went to Pirate Island, stole their treasure, and brought it here possibly for the prizes that were happening here on the island for this event. Now, what did they take? I'm assuming it was the Dragon Devil Fruit. Maybe they already had it on Pirate Island, and then it was brought over here. Or did they take something else and already had the Dragon Devil Fruit for the prize group? I don't know. So that leads me to when it was pointed out before about the treasure chest on the island for the prizes, a lot of people last chapter were saying, hey, there's probably some devil fruits in here, which was confirmed to be accurate with this chapter. But it led me to put up a little community post and being like, hey, why don't we see any celestial dragons, the regular spacesuit hat wearing ones, with devil fruit powers? I don't expect them to use it for combat, but I would think they'd want something show off for status and just to show off to those around them. But not a single one that I can think of, again, regular spacesuit pirate one, or not pirates, spacesuit celestial dragon ones. None of them have it. So why for this tournament were devil fruits one of the prizes? We see the celestial dragons use the devil fruit as almost like humiliation. They force the slaves to eat it like they did with Boa. I don't know. Can they only have certain devil fruits? Are some stigmatized, being like, no, this is for lesser than creatures. You are related to the gods, or you are a god. You don't need the power of a devil, unless it's this really specific one, because you're a celestial dragon, so this one allows you to turn into a dragon. I'm just wondering about that. Side note, I don't know where I first seen this, but it probably on TikTok. Do you remember in East Blue, we had an island with no people on it, just animals, and there was some bunch of empty treasure chests, and the man in the treasure chest, was this a former God Valley event? Because if so, not specifically God Valley, but genocidal tournament. Just saying. Might have been. So, anywho, the Celestial Dragons swipe the crown jewel of Pirate Island, whatever that is. Again, I don't want to assume it was Kaido's future devil fruit. For all we know, they already had that and they took something else. Then we also have them saying specifically that they came to this island for certain resources. I'm still maintaining from previous videos that it was the Atom Tree, is my thought. I'm probably wrong, but I want to know what resource they're after. So, Garp on his snail phone being like, no, not coming, not my problem, this is all on you. Yeah, about that, things got a little out of hand because Roger's also here. I am already suited up and on my way. Garp is coming to the island because, you know, Roger. Ivankov, glorious person that he is just leading, already starting to lead a revolution because he's up on like a soapbox going, listen here, this is not right. We have to survive this. We have to escape. I don't care that they said that if we survive 3 weeks, I think it was, on this island, that they'll let us go. They are lying to you. No one has ever survived this. And no one is going to. We cannot win if we play by their rigged rules. And the amount of passion in these couple these couple panels with him specifically was intense. And I love this little moment where a shark fish man, ends up biting the restraints off Iva Zavakov's chains, and he thanks him, being just like, wow, what a strong jaw you have. It's so impressive. And Buddy's just like, no one's ever complimented me for that before, thank you. So this getting a little bit of kindness from the different races between the fishmen and humans as they're both been put into slavery, and you get how it'll continue on with fish tiger, tiger fish. I can never remember what order that goes in. I'm bad with names, but I love that moment. And then we learn that Ginny had sent out something into the system between the snails and hacking something technology to say to the outside world what they're doing here in the prizes, hoping that'll draw people in and create more havoc and chaos for them to escape, because their plan is to go get the devil fruit that they can then use to save everybody. And Kuma, darling, angel, sweetest boy alive, deserves the world, should be treated better and have a better life, volunteers to be a distraction because he's bigger and he can take more injuries, and he will take it upon himself to help others. He'll get the devil fruit and he'll use it to save people, and he'll distract others so others can get away. I love Kuma. I love him so much. The sweetest boy. He's a martyr and he deserves better, and I need him to be protected at all costs. And his life's a tragedy, and we'll get to that at the end. I will gush about him later. So him and Iva have run up. They have gotten to the center of the island. They have their devil fruits. Kuma gets the pawpaw fruit, but before Iva can eat the devil fruit he's got, which is the dragon devil fruit, Big Mom comes, knocks it off. I did not talk about the Rocks Pirates. The Rocks Pirates show up. Do you remember how I was disappointed with the introduction of the Rocks Pirates? I thought that I wouldn't like them because, in my opinion, past Jessica, idiot that she is. Past Jessica's an idiot. I had said something along the lines of, oh, they're setting up Rocks in this weird way where he's only being brought up as this villain because of his relationship to other characters. Oh, Whitebeard was the strongest man in the world. Darling angel, love of my life. I did not mean to be dismissive when I said his name. Big Mom, Emperor of the Sea, Kaido, the monster that he is, King of Beasts, all these characters that have been built up for arcs and arcs, and we looming in the distance, and we know how powerful they are. Oh, by the way, their captain was Rocks. Like, that's all the setup I have for him initially in Wano. Past Jessica, idiot. Always trust Oda. I cannot tell you how excited I am for the Rocks Pirates, for Rocks' reveal, to know what they're after. I don't know when Oda got me this invested, but my god, am I invested. So, Rocks Pirates show up on the shores. Celestial Dragons freaking out. Rightfully so. And I love this lineup. I love their bickering. I know they probably, Whitebeard had indicated that they probably didn't get along. They butted heads. It was not very well dynamic crew, and it led to their downfall. But little moments of Whitebeard saying, oh, don't you tell me what to do, Rocks. I don't take orders from you. Kaido's being like, Big Mom, the Dragon Devil Fruit would be useless in your hands. You can't be after it. And Stussy being like, oh, don't you start with him. I just love these, like, I feel like they're just bickering, and I love it. And I'm going to say justice for the Rocks Pirates. This is going to age terribly, but I'm going with the world government and Morgan, Big News Morgan, slandered their names, and they were never the villains. I am so excited this is going to age terribly, because I'm sure Oda's going to make him be, like, the biggest bad of the biggest bad. But, like, let's just look at their crew. We have Whitebeard, love of my life, best father in the world, done nothing wrong in his entire life, just wants family. He's on this crew. We have Stussy. Angel, Stussy, I'm sticking with Stussy. Angel, gorgeous, love her. Granted, I don't know anything about her, just her clone, but she is hanging out with Whitebeard, so she can't be all bad. Also, I'm wondering if Weevil actually is his kid now and not a clone, so there's always that. We have Gloriosa, however you say her name, of the Amazon Pirates, and I'm just like, former empress of that island, Amazon Lily. I'm like, what's she doing here? She was on Rox's crew. She got a good head on her shoulders. We know she had, like, the love sickness which sent her away. Same reason Boa had to go off. And I don't know if she's in love with Rocks or if she's in love with Whitebeard. I mean, why wouldn't you be in love with Whitebeard? But what? She didn't do anything wrong. We have Big Mom, who just all she wanted, her entire childhood was tragic. Never learned self-control. Just wanted her own family. Hated being abandoned. I mean, her in her prime wanted to sort of take care of Kaido, bring him under her wing, because Rocks wasn't going to do it. Like, why not? We have Kaido, who was, again, abused by the government. wanted to be Joy Boy, but settled for being Joy Boy's final test. Like, these are not, they're very bad people in present day, but leading up to it, like, they weren't bad starting off. And then we have John, whose treasure buggy was. There's a fish man right next to him. There's a guy with like Wolverine claws that theorizing might have something to do with Blackbeard. That guy might be a bit of an issue. But like, and there's other characters there. I'm just like, they can't be all bad. This government slander is all I'm saying. Just they're dynamic. It's giving a little bit of vibes of I will kill you one day, but I would also kill for you. I feel like they are a good crew. I want to believe it. I want to believe it so bad. So they say not to lose sight of the reason that they're there. So why are they there? Are they there for whatever was stolen from them? The Jewel of Pirate Island? Is it Kaido's Devil Fruit? Is it the Pawpaw Fruit? Is it the Darkness Fruit? Is it Nika's Devil Fruit? There are 6, was it 6? I think it was 6 treasure chests on this island. Like, they might not necessarily have been after Kaido's Devil Fruit. In fact, I hope they weren't. I hope there was something else that was stolen that they were after. And Kaido's Dragon Devil Fruit was just the second prize. We get, so the Gods, Knights people with Shanks's dad, another one, and someone with like a deer, bull, some kind of skull on their face. Love him. That's a cool design. Love that. Garp and his group, the Rocks Pirates, Rogers Pirates, they're all running in, charging, but we don't see the fight. And because we didn't get that, past Jessica, and by past Jessica I mean 24 hours ago, was disappointed. Now I'm just like, there's so much going on. I don't even care. We haven't seen them fight yet. We haven't seen their powers yet. Oda is building to it, and the anticipation is killing me. So good choice, good choice. We see Kuma eating his devil fruit because Ivankov was knocked out down by Big Mom. He couldn't have the dragon devil fruit. Can you imagine him as a dragon? Can you just picture him as a dragon? That would have been something else. But Kuma eats the pawpaw fruit, and that's when Saturn shows up. And I'm like, Saturn's here. Why is Saturn here? I am so excited right now for a chapter that I was not even that excited while reading it. So Saturn knocks him back, and it's just like, you were born a slave. You buccaneer brat. You're either going to live as a slave or you're going to die. There's no other option. And Kuma starts spouting moral philosophy, being like, oh, you're someone who was born important. Why was it so much that you had to be born important? Why isn't everyone important? I'm going to be like Nika and protect as many people as I can. I have power now. I will use it to save people. And Saturn's just like, that is why you have to die. You and your people have to be eliminated. And I'm like, what did the Buccaneer group do? But presumably, because we don't see, we cut away to just, a week later in the future, everyone's safe. Kuma had used his powers to transport, I think, 500 people to safety. And when Ivo had previously said, like, if we can save one single person, I will consider this a victory over the Celestial Dragons, because no one ever survives this. But Kuma saves 500, and Ivo calls his hands like hands of liberation. Which, again, this powerful devil fruit, which, if we are to assume that Vivi's ancestor had the pawpaw fruit, this is border on tinfoil hat, and used it to transport the poneglyphs away, far away to safety, and that was the thing that threw off the one with the pointy hat's plan, the giant mistake that happened or something. It was there, the pawpaw fruit, with a mythical Zoan dragon devil fruit. For all we know, Luffy's devil fruit and Blackbeard's devil fruit was also there. I wouldn't put it past it. I mean, that's powerful devil fruits with, I'm sure, a rich history here on this island. What else happened? Oh, there was a line. I'm excited for the official translation when this comes out. So when Saturn says you can either live a slave or die, nothing else can be tolerated for someone like you. That is what the tides of time have decided. Tides of time. Ever since Wano, I am very suspicious anytime time is mentioned. I don't know what this means. I don't really care. I'm very excited. It could be nothing. It could be a weird translation. I want to know, do the Gorosei have anything to do with time manipulation, control, immortality, something. Side note, I know this is not going to happen, but tinfoil hat, you can't blame me for this. What I love is when we are lied to, we are led to believe the truth of this story, and that ends up being a lie. So I would have loved for like the Gorosei to be like an immortal group who were going after Nika, and Nika was originally a good person, but then became corrupted, and the Gorosei were actually the good guys trying to stop him. And then when Nika passed on, the corrupted version became Joy Boy. The Gorosei, who were good, now have been corrupted through time and power. And then Joy Boy, trying to take them down, was like, I can feel that I am being corrupted by this power as well. I cannot keep my promise, so I will relinquish the devil fruit. I'm going to die. Someone else will rise up to take down now these corrupted Gorosei, who were good at one point in time. Maybe the original Nika was evil, or had been corrupted already. So now Luffy will have it, and he will be the perfect personification, Joy Boy's powers, Nika's powers, and won't be corrupted, and will take down the Gorosei. Like, I don't know. I love corruption arcs. That's pretty much all I'm saying. We cut to Sorbet Kingdom, and Kuma is safe, and him and Jenny are just enjoying being free. They're living in a church. Kuma's cutting wood. He gets attacked by some bullies, but Jenny comes and defends him and protects him. And he's just like, it's okay. And then he apologizes to the bullies and pushes their pain away. And they're safe. And they're happy. And we have Iva saying goodbye. And Jenny being like, bye, big bro, I'm going to stay here. I don't think they're actually related at this point. I feel like they're just, hey, we bonded, and I consider you my brother, even though we're not actually related, not by blood. He's gone off to sail the world, but and go find his own kingdom. But Kuma's just like, thank you, I will never forget your face. Flashbacks, PTSD, trauma to Marineford when I was looking at him and just being like, don't you recognize me? Don't you know my face? My actual heart, Oda has ripped out my heart and soul. Oh my god. But for the time being, Kuma at this point is safe and happy. And they have full bellies. And they're talking to each other, being like, we've been in slavery since we were 4 years old. The government has taken everything from us. But we got out. We have our freedom. We know that good times are happening for him. He's going to become the king. He's going to have Bonnie. People will love and adore him. But then, and like they're crying. They're so happy. They're finally free. But we know it's not going to last, and he's going to have more trauma. Something is going to happen, and they're going to frame him for being a tyrant. He will leave. He will go to the Revolutionary Army to fight back against the people who took everything from him, no doubt a second time once he loses the kingdom. But then something else is going to happen, and the murder that he is, I know he's going to do this to protect someone he loves, probably Bonnie, is going to turn himself over to the Marines and become a warlord. He is going to go to the people who killed his parents, who killed his friends, his family, who put him through all these tortures, who took away his childhood. And he's going to willingly sacrifice himself, his mind, his body. He's going to be augmented into a machine and lose everything that he is, hopefully to protect somebody. And then, as if that's not going to be enough for him, when he's gone, when they make the pacifistas and he's of no use, they're going to throw him back into slavery, which he was just in this chapter crying about how he got away from. He was so happy to be away from it. He's going to be put back in that and be the worst of the worst torture to him. And then the Revolutionary Army is going to come and they're going to get him out of there. But it's not going to last because he's going to run and fight once Bonnie triggers the memories in that thing because he senses people needs his help, so he's going to run to them again. This boy needs a break. He needs to be protected. He needs to get his memories back because he deserves everything good in this world. Kuma is my new favorite character, up there with Whitebeard. He's not above Whitebeard, but he's close to it. And he just needs to be happy and safe. Him and Bonnie need to end this series being happy and safe. I need to know what happened to Ginny. I need to know where she is. Oda is going to traumatize me. I can feel it in my bones. Finally, we had Iva saying, hey, this Morgan newspaper reporter guy didn't report the truth. He's only calling Garp a hero. And I'm just like, hey now, put some respect on Big News Morgan's name. I do love Big News Morgan. I'm excited that he's up and running during God Valley. And I really want to know, like, what's in plans for him because he's always in his Alcatraz bird form. so no one knows what his human form is like. So I'm wondering if he's sneaking around behind the scenes getting information. He might just pop up in his human form and no one will know it's him. I'm excited for that. I need the next chapter. I am dying. I am so excited. I need more details on God Valley. We don't know. We've never seen Rox yet. We only had a speech bubble for him. We haven't seen his face. Is Caribou working for him? I need to know. So in conclusion, was this chapter overhyped? Absolutely not. My expectations were just not in the correct place when I first read it. Because I got everything I didn't know I needed. So Oda, please do not hurt my heart and soul and just let Kuma have a happy ending. Please, I am praying for that. That is all I got. I will talk to you later. Bye.